Hello, I'm Emma Clarke and I'm from Stockport. So I thought I'd give you a video presentation basically to talk you through everything that you need to know about me. So, my composition experience to date. Well, I started composing in 2020, so I've not been a composer for very long at all. And I started during lockdown. People's lives changed a lot during lockdown. I'm a classical guitarist and have played the guitar since I was a kid. I mean, I've got a freakishly large left hand because of all the stretching. And as a kid, I wrote bits and pieces for the classical guitar, but I always had this feeling that I'd never be taken seriously as somebody who wanted to write music. I had massive imposter syndrome. I still do. And I wondered what it would be like if I started to notate properly the music I could hear in my head, because I could hear string quartets, chamber music and orchestral music as well. So I thought, why don't I just try and write it down? And this was a kind of revelatory thing that I thought maybe I can actually do this. So I don't think up to that point I'd really given myself permission to actually write music. This was a whole new uncharted territory for me. It was lockdown. I thought, why not? What have I got to lose? So I contacted the Royal Northern College of Music and spoke to Adam Gorb to ask him if he knew of a composition teacher who could help. He put me in touch with Tom Harold, who was brilliant, and I started lessons with him in September 2020. And I worked really hard. I used to write a piece a week for him. And then in the February, he said, why don't you consider doing a master's? And I thought, well, I don't know if they'd have me because I haven't even got an undergrad degree and I'm new to this. I don't really know what I'm doing. But he said, no, I think you should apply. So I did. I applied and they amazingly accepted me on the course. While all that was happening, I also applied to Britain's Sinfonia for their Opus 1 Composers Scheme. I was delighted to be accepted on that scheme as well. So things were starting to move, and I did my master's at Leeds Conservatoire and I did really well. And I also got to work with Opera North during that time, and I wrote a duet for soprano and baritone and workshopped it with them. It was just a fantastic experience. And then my tutors suggested that I should continue studying. Why don't you do a PhD? And I thought, I don't think they'll have me. But I applied to the Royal Northern College of Music and put together a research proposal, and they accepted me, which was just absolutely incredible. So I'm now 2 years in. I'm a part-time PGR, and at college my work has been performed by the College Sinfonietta, which was just a brilliant experience. I'm collaborating with Zakia Leeming on a piece that uses onomatopoeic words. It's crazy, but it's brilliant, really good fun. I'm working with Hans Martin Buff, who is a producer who's worked with Peter Gabriel and also Prince, and we're collaborating on a piece that uses the spoken word. I'm working with mezzo-soprano Rosie Middleton on a couple of pieces that I've written, and she's kindly said that she wants to perform and include as part of her set. I'm also part of the unsupervised project at the Royal Northern College of Music, which looks at machine learning and how machine-learned audio has a place in composition, which is really fascinating. I've also been asked to score an independent film, which I can't wait to get going and make a start. And I've written a theme for a podcast and also a children's animation. So things have moved quite quickly for me because, as I say, I haven't been composing very long at all. So why am I applying? Well, to progress, I need experience of working with large ensembles. I need mentoring. I need to be taught really what to do with an orchestra. Brass tacks, brass tacks. I need to understand how musicians think, how they use their instruments, and how they interpret scores as well. I mean, it's really basic stuff, but I think composers really need to know that basic stuff. My background is as a voice actor, so I am new to this world of music, and I need to learn how musicians best respond to a score and what can be done, what's possible, what's the choreography of an instrument, what are its limitations. Yeah, I can read books and I can do my research, but having that practical knowledge and having a mentor to say, no, that ain't possible on a harp. I mean, that's an experience I've had. And just teaching me how to get the best out of incredible players. I also would love to use this experience as part of my research. So my PhD is looking at how my background as a voice actor influences how I compose music. So this covers character, subtext, story, and how the elements of vocal expression, which are pitch, pace, pause, power, inflection and tone colour, translate into my compositional framework. So this opportunity would really help to shore up that research. And I need to just make sure that what I'm hearing in my head is playable, really. I mean, that's the thing for all composers, I think, that the music that they create can actually be realised fully by real life breathing musicians, because software instruments tell you a lie when you're a composer. I'd also really like to write for film and also for dance. My son is a ballet dancer and dance is very close to my heart. I also, as an aside, I really love Liverpool. My first professional job was at the Liverpool Playhouse studio when I got the lead role in Jonathan Harvey's very first play, The Cherry Blossom Tree, and I just love Liverpool. Also, one of my mentors from the Britten Sinfonia Opus 1 scheme, Danny Howard, suggested that I apply. So what's not to love? So are there any other musical experiences or interests? Well, as I say, I play classical guitar and I have done since I was a kid. I was proper obsessed with it actually when I was a teenager. I attended the Cannington Guitar Summer School where I was really lucky to be taught by Chris Kilvington and John Duarte. It was just a brilliant experience. Unfortunately, I've broken quite a lot of fingers over the years in sporting accidents. So my playing is not what it should be, or was actually. But I still really love playing and I still play. I particularly really like playing Renaissance music on my guitar. There's something about the shapes of the fingers and the way you can play with the soundboard. I just love playing that kind of music. I've got an eclectic music taste. Love Björk, love The Doors, love Messiaen, love Arvo Part, Pink Floyd, Miles Davis. Really eclectic music taste. I listen to all sorts of stuff. And I've also been asked, and please for now, please keep this confidential because it's not been publicly announced. I've been asked to present the breakfast show on Saturdays on BBC Radio 3, which I cannot wait to start. The first show is going to be on the 31st of August, and then it starts properly week by week on the 5th of October, and I really can't wait to make a start on that. We're already doing preparatory recordings and practicing writing playlists, which is a brilliant experience. So yeah, that's happening. So music is a really big part of my life, and it's getting bigger as well over time. So why am I submitting these works? Well, they show that I can write for orchestral instruments and that I'm not scared of scale either. I love working with loads of different forces and to create all those different textures and timbres and atmospheres and moods, and love it. It's like painting with sound. Just love it. These pieces also show how I can tell a story using music, because I'm really intrigued with story and how I can depict a concept in sound. I guess it's a kind of sound symbolism, exploring how meaning and emotion and ideas get translated into sound and how they're communicated. Tiny Blue Marble has been performed by the Britten Sinfonia. That was the piece that I wrote for the Opus 1 scheme. And then I extended it for Sinfonietta. Initially it was a trio. It was flute, harp and viola, and then it grew and became a slightly different kind of piece. And then Disinformation is a piece that hopefully will be performed in the autumn at the Royal Northern College of Music as part of their brand new day, but fingers crossed. I don't know if it's going to be accepted yet. It's hot competition for that, so I don't know. And postgrads don't get first shout, really. Undergrads and master's students do. So it is a bit of a long shot, to be honest. And I've worked on these pieces with one of my supervisors, Adam Gorb, the great Adam Gorb, who is just fantastic and so enthusiastic and supportive. So I think there's a few little tweaks that still need doing, but it's done. Again, though, with a mentor helping me out, I think I'd be okay. I think I'd be okay. So each of those pieces have been developed from very short studies that I did with a limited number of forces, just to sort of get the idea down, and then just expanding it to, oh dear, knocking over my thing, expanding it to work with the full orchestra as well. So I really love orchestration. Orchestration is one of the things in my life that gives me the greatest joy. I love bringing out the music behind the music. So the music that's behind, beneath, between what you think is the sound, there's other stuff that you can bring out in there when you start composing with a full orchestra, start that orchestration. There's so many different inferences and stories and atmospheres and moods that you can bring out. I really, really love that. And I particularly love the orchestration of Britain. His sea interludes are extraordinary. Ravel, Stravinsky, love Stravinsky, Rimsky-Korsakov. And I spent, when I first started learning orchestration, I said to Tom Harold, I'm going to listen to cartoon music, because I think it's virtuosic what Carl Stalling and Scott Bradley did as well. Carl Stalling in particular was just incredible. Hoyt Curtin wrote some very catchy little ditties, but the orchestration of Carl Stalling is just masterful. So I studied that. I'm also really interested in how humour can be conveyed in music as well. So yeah, I've written these pieces, and I'm reasonably happy. I mean, is a composer ever fully happy with their work? Is it ever fully finished? I don't think it is. But it's sort of where I'm up to now. So I thought I would show you my music. So I really hope you enjoy it. And I hope you've enjoyed listening to me tell a bit of my musical story. And I do hope to hear from you. Take care.